Welcome to Listertainment, the channel with the most deceptive name in all of YouTube. On today's video, we'll be looking at 10 fighters who didn't have to wait too long to regret not showing respect for your opponent by touching gloves before the fight started. We're gonna see some that just didn't do it at the face-off, to others that used it as a weapon by faking the glove touch in order to catch their opponents off balance. But in the end, they all failed and they ended up looking pretty dumb. If you happen to enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below. And make sure to turn on those notifications. Let's get started. In 2004, Takanori Gomi was fighting against Ralph Gracie during the Pride Bushido 3.
162 pounds.
Gracie came to the face-off looking like a homicidal maniac, looking at Gomi like he was going to eat him. Gomi just looked relaxed and went for the glove touch, but Gracie did not accept it, which just made Gomi mad. You can see Gomi's face expression change as soon as he got dissed, and then he just stepped back. He was ready to attack.
Oh, that looked like it hurt Alf.
Alf is done. Alf is done.
Gracie went for the takedown immediately, but Gomi threw a kick, but he ended up kneeing Gracie right in the face, basically knocking him out. He then delivered more knees once on the ground, which were really harsh, but that just showed his anger and why you should not disrespect your opponents by not touching gloves. At UFC 243, Nadia Kassem was challenging Ji Yeon Kim, and although there was no stare down while receiving their instructions, Kassem decided to do something even worse than not touching gloves.
Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Nadia Kassem comes back at plus 140.
This son of a gun faked the glove touch to start the fight and went for a kick to the body. She is the one that initiated the glove touch, which made Kim drop her guard completely. As soon as she got kicked, you could see that Kim was just thinking, okay then, you want to play it that way. And in the very next exchange, she got her back. That was a perfectly timed left hook to put her down on the canvas. Then later, towards the end of the second round, Kim got the outright win via technical knockout.
Big deep breath from Nadia Kassem, trying to big body shot, and down she
So Cody Garbrandt has a bit of a dislikable personality, so when he did this against TJ Dillashaw, it wasn't that big of a surprise. But there was actually some hate between these two guys, and it all culminated in their first fight in 2017 at UFC 217.
Want to touch gloves, do it now. Good luck to both of you. Oh, okay.
And if you bet on the
Dillashaw showed respect for his rival and put the gloves up. But Garbrandt just backed up and got ready for the actual fight, where he would finally be able to shut up Dillashaw. But in the second round, the opposite happened.
Oh! He's there! Fight! That's it!
As Garbrandt does quite a bit, he decided to trade shots with Dillashaw without any defense or any head movement from either guy, and Dillashaw just beat him to the punch that put him down. He did it again a year later, but that time in the first round. Oh yeah, let's not forget, Dillashaw turned out to be a cheater, so maybe these fights don't count. This is probably the fight that is the most famous one where this happened, because it was basically the downfall for one of the greatest fighters of all time. Ronda Rousey decided not to touch gloves with Holly Holm during their first fight at UFC 239.
Touch gloves at this time. Come out ready to do this.
Rousey was being a pretty big asshole during the entire promotion, from the weigh-in face-off to the actual fight face-off, and it really rubbed people the wrong way. So when Holm was able to destroy her in the second round, a lot of people were pretty happy about it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. She's hurt. She's in trouble. She's hurt.
I understand that you have to hype yourself up, but you look like a real dumbass if you pull off this entire act and end up losing in the end. Eric Silva was fighting against Nordine Taleb at UFC 196 when he decided to take one of the most blatant cheap shots you will ever see.
Left. The old fake fist bump followed by a punch.
This happened in the first round, and he did manage to get a really good left hook off of that fake glove touch. I really enjoy that part where after he takes that cheap shot, he does that arm motion at Taleb like saying, "What are you gonna do about it?" Well, he showed him something in the second round.
Well, he got a lesson in instant karma a few minutes later in the second round.
Conor McGregor has a very intimidating and demeaning personality, and it makes a lot of fighters very angry. For example, in 2015, he fought against Dennis Silva. He did all these crazy movements during the fight face-off that would have made many fighters a little annoyed. And Silva felt this when he decided not to touch gloves.
Follow my instructions. We're gonna have a clean fight. Touch gloves and let's do this.
McGregor is an amazing fighter, so maybe you shouldn't do anything that would make him extra mad. But as soon as Silva did this, Conor flipped him off and you knew that was the end of poor Silva.
Striking technique, and they say the punch that lands, that's what McGregor just...
Of course, Conor put him down with that God-given left hand and just climbed on top of him to put the finishing touches on this thorough beating. Now we have this MMA fight between Adam Fife and Alex Thorne. Fife went in showing his glove in order for them to touch out of respect for each other, but then he got close and instead threw a straight left hand. Fife almost got the win as he was able to knock Thorne down, but somehow Thorne got up from this and turned the fight around. Those were 25 seconds of pure madness, where Thorne was almost beat by this cheating idiot and then he flipped the script. I can guarantee you that some of these punches in the end were done out of pure anger. Not sure who the fighters are in this fight, but this has to be one of the quickest karma is a bitch moments you will ever see. Very similar to Gomi's win. I'm not gonna lie, if I were the guy in white, I wouldn't have put my hand up for the glove touch, because who the hell comes in that fast trying to show respect? It's almost like it's his mission to show respect. But no, it was all like set up so he can go for the takedown. This is a fight that actually broke a state record. This was the MMA fight between Quinton Culpepper and Aaron Rosenblum. Culpepper wanted to touch gloves, but Rosenblum wasn't having none of it, so he just started swinging on his opponent, who still had his hand up. Pretty bad idea since he got knocked out in 4 seconds. This guy was ready, attacking and defending himself, while his opponent was still trying to show some respect. And you still get hit and knocked out with one punch? Pretty sad moment for this guy. Anderson Silva can be a pretty respectful fighter during the stare downs, during the actual fights. He touches gloves and bows down, but for some reason he didn't do the glove touch against Chris Weidman, who extended his hand.
Or not.
This was a stunning beginning to one of the most stunning endings in MMA history, as Weidman was able to do this in the second round.
Anderson, oh no, he got hit! Look at the finish it!
Silva's incredible showboating finally came back to bite him in the ass. Watching Silva fight was one of the best things you could witness in MMA. It was like watching a true master at work, so this was incredibly shocking to see. Almost as shocking as the second fight. So if you haven't seen the ending to that one, go watch it. But be warned that it's one of the worst things you will see today. How much would you have to hate somebody to not touch gloves with them? For me, I would have to be as angry as Khabib was with Conor, because otherwise it can be forgiven, since you are about to settle things anyways. So it's better to show respect early, because once it starts you can really put your anger into action. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.